Welcome, welcome, welcome to another Angelo Grosso podcast. I'm in a little bit of a fucking mood. I dropped a table leg on my big toe and on my right foot, my main foot, and it's been hurting me for over 2 hours now. And I don't think it's broken, but it's fucked up. And every time I put any additional weight on my foot, it fucking is an agony. But fuck it. I'm gonna light a J here. I just made a Moscow Mule. We're going to get this party started. Okay, where to begin? Well, these fucking protests are still going on, and more power to them. I say keep fucking going. Oh, I should have brought a bong in here. This joint is hard to light. Anyway, the president just fucking tear gassed a peaceful protester so he could get that fucking photo op with the Bible in his hand like a real jabroni cunt. I don't know what else to say. It's already been said. The protests, I'm telling you, they're more than George Floyd now. They're more than just police brutality. It's every fucking thing that's been going on in this country for a long time. It's the income inequality. It's the homelessness. It's the fucking drugs. And probably worst of all, it was how this country responded to a legitimate virus. I do not think this administration could have handled it any worse than they did. And when Ebola hit under Obama, how many people died from that? Fucking barely nothing. And they still had a shitload of money towards it. I mean, they acted like this was more of an annoyance than an actual legitimate crisis. So fuck them. And what is the first thing our government does? I mean, sorry, I don't get into politics here, but I'm in that kind of mood. My foot hurts. This joint's hard to light. My Moscow Mule's almost done. Anyway, I got to get this rant done before I get too stoned and forget. So what does this country do for its first big step towards helping out the American people during this coronavirus pandemic? They bail out billionaires. They bail out the motherfucking cruise line industry, which I was talking to my girlfriend about this, and she disagreed. But if anyone takes a cruise after all this, you're a pile of excrement. I mean, why the fuck would you support the cruise lines knowing what you know now? They don't pay taxes. They have all their money offshore. All of their workers are from these poor islands that are barely a third world country, and they basically take them from there, put them on the ship, and they're indentured slaves. Pay them garbage wages. It's disgusting. Not to mention it's bad for the environment. They dump all that shit in the ocean. And I do mean shit. Where do you think all that stuff goes? Oh my god, and not to mention the fucking airline industry. We bailed them out. We gave them something like 50 million or 500 million or a billion. We gave them up. I think it was 50 billion. We gave them some $1 billion with a B. With a B! The airline industry. And they're still laying off people, so give me a break. Oh, whatever. And, what the fuck was it? Like, $3 trillion, $5 trillion or some shit. I should probably find that out. And they give us $1,200 like in the second month of this, or third month for some people. One time, our fucking neighbors to the motherfucking north in Canada got like $2,000 a month for the next 3 months or some shit, or 4 or 6 months. I don't know. I need to look this stuff up. But they basically are getting $2,000 a month, and or 80% of their wages or some shit. Something that actually makes sense. And this is not like the fifth a month. And there hasn't been another check. How many people can live off $1,200 every 4 or 5 months? Are you out of your fucking mind? And we keep bailing these billionaires out. These fucking oligarch bastards. And so people are angry. But just because the stock market's good, and just because the economy has good numbers. Oh, the economy went up 6%. The unemployment is now blah. Are you a donkey brain dickwad? Listen. All you need to do is drive through any major city, see the homeless people, see the crack and the drug and the opiate addicts. I mean, it's insanity. The economy was shit before coronavirus, and it's gotten worse. They praise these unemployment numbers like, well, we're only at 13% unemployment. Are you out of your fucking mind? First off, all those numbers are always bullshit. They never count people that have been on disability for X amount of years, people that just stopped working that aren't on disability, the homeless. People, they don't take into account how many people have to work multiple jobs. Fuck those numbers. And so, oh, what the fuck is my point? Oh yeah, these protests are a lot more than just police brutality, man. They talk about a few stores getting looted, and again, I could give a fuck if Target or Walmart get looted. I don't support looting. I don't think I would ever do it. But if you're gonna loot something big that doesn't give a fuck. That if you burn down a Target, guess what? Target has insurance. That motherfucker will get rebuilt. And the people that work in that Target will not be out of work. And if they are, it'll be for a very short time. It's not like if you burn down a fucking coffee shop that's owned by your neighbors. I mean, that's their dream. And by the way, any anarchist out there that thinks it's okay to break shit and to blow up cars and to like take hammers to the fucking streets to make fucking weapons to fucking hurt people or hurt the police, you're what's wrong with this country. And so, yeah. Anyway, they talk about those looters like they're the problem. The government are the biggest looters right now. Well, what's up, LaFonda? What's your 2 cents about the riots? Oh, man, that's a hot take. Anyway, I gotta chill down. I don't think I'm making any sense. The fact that the government then, that fucking Mnuchin, he's saying, well, it's up to me and my cronies to decide when we should release information about who got what and how much they got. And by the way, he just blocked it. So we're not gonna know who got what and why. Our own money that we pay in taxes was just given on a golden platter to a bunch of greedy cunts. So, yeah, fuck them. Fuck this entire administration. Fuck most of the Republicans serving in the Senate and the House. But you know what? Fuck most of the Democrats, too. Fucking Pelosi and Schumer, you're not squeaky clean either. And neither is Obama and Biden. Fuck them. And my boy Bernie Sanders, you know, I think I love the movement more than I love him. He gets on his fucking soapbox in the Senate, rants and raves to McConnell, rants and raves to the American people, but then he votes. And you're like, okay, well, you still voted the opposite of what you were talking about. And don't even get me started on Bernie Sanders. I love the man, but he did me wrong. He did us all wrong. Anyway, let's move on to happier things. I don't want to bore you all with this depressing ass shit. Well, after 5 months of living in this new house, I've slowly but surely have started to meet my neighbors. There's one neighbor that I've been told by the previous owner of this house is like the neighbor you want to be friends with. The guy you want to be friendly with because he's, you know, he's a former Marine and he's good with his hands. He can help you with stuff. He's smart. He's young. He's always home. And I was like, all right, man, I get it. You love the guy. He's your BFF in the neighborhood. But this whole coronavirus thing, you really haven't been able to meet a lot of people. And certainly for me, I'm not about to go door to door and shake hands or do anything weird on the doorstep. So, you know, I've talked to a few people from a distance while, you know, jogging or walking or whatever, but not really introducing myself and chit-chatting. Well, today is the day. I finally met the Jarhead, and unfortunately, I was stoned to the gills. I didn't mean to get that high, but, you know, sometimes shit happens. Today is a bong day, and for whatever reason, I forgot to put water or ice in the bong. And so I packed that bowl tight and did a rip, and it went, you know, it was kind of a shock. You got to go. You can't stop, you know, you can't leave the smoke there. So, unfortunately, I could barely walk to the mailbox, which is all I was trying to do. And the Jarhead's out there raking, and I said hi, and then he stopped and turned and talked to me, and I said, oh shit, no, I got to stop. Once you stop working, you have to respect and stop. So he said, oh, you know, something or other, it's, you know, hello. And I said, oh yeah, you're raking, haha, that should be something that I should be doing, or whatever. I really had no idea what I was saying because, again, I'm danked up here. And so he starts talking to me about the neighborhood and his family, and the previous owner, they were friends. telling me about adventures and the times with him and blah, 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 blah. And I started to realize every time he would pose a question, I would kind of answer it and then tell him a completely unrelated story about the house. And he would kind of look at me like, "Oh, okay, that's not what I asked, but all right, I'll listen." So he asked me, "Oh, I remember you have a crawl space that's pretty big. You see, I don't have that. You know, the previous owner, he always put all his garden equipment in the crawl space there. I don't have it, so that's why my garage is a little messy." And so then I said, "Yeah, well, that crawl space is pretty big. Like, I've never been able to jump in a crawl space before." And when the inspector saw it, he freaked out and he called his old man. And I just went off the story about the inspector who looked at the house and his dad, my dad, and myself, and all the shit talk we had about the crawl space being so cool. And that's not what the guy was asking me. He was talking about the garage. So, a little embarrassing. But, you know, at least I didn't shit myself, so at least that's a step up. But no, so I'm pretty excited to start meeting the neighborhood. Also, today was the first day I've mowed the lawn in the backyard. In about a week, a little over a week, because it's just been raining nonstop here. And so, you know, it looks like a fucking jungle out there. So, you know, I put the lawnmower up to a higher setting or a higher blade setting. And one thing I need to mention is that every single night, you hear thousands and thousands and thousands of frogs around the neighborhood. I personally love it. I love the sound of frogs. I love frogs in general. As a child, I used to catch them, and then I'd always release them. I would keep some for a couple days. You know, I had aquariums in my bedroom as a child. I had newts, salamanders, snakes. I'd catch all this shit. My mother and sister, of course, hated it. I remember distinctively when a gardener snake escaped and it was loose in the house and it ended up being in the bathroom, and my mom went to go take a shower in the morning and there was a fucking snake in there. So no more pets from outside. And, you know, makes sense. So anyway, I'm mowing the lawn and I don't know why I was surprised, but I see this frog hopping out of the way of the lawnmower. And I thought, holy shit. So I stopped mowing the lawn. I pick up the little bitch and I, you know, put him someplace else where I'm not going to mow the lawn. I'm like, that's nice. I like frogs. 30 seconds later, I see another one. I'm like, oh shit, another little bitch. I love him. Picked him up, or her, I don't fucking know. And I put him in one of my azaleas. I was, all right, stay clear. No shit, guys. I must have caught close to 20 of them fucking things. Because, you know, I know most of you are thinking, why would you stop and pick up every single one? It's easy. I'm not a savage, and I didn't want to kill them. Or I didn't want to risk running them over with a lawnmower. It's a quick death, sure, but, you know, fuck it, man. I like frogs. And so it's so cool to me that I can just walk around my backyard and, like, catch frogs and stuff. Even though I'm in my 30s, I still love that shit. It just brings me down nostalgia lane. But I had to wash my hands, though. I didn't know if those motherfuckers had coronavirus or some shit. Yeah, I've always liked frogs. I think it stems to, what are those child books? It's like a Frog and Toad. I don't know if anybody else had their parents read them when they were a kid, but I distinctly remember that there was these children's books evolving around a frog and a toad, and then they were dressed like old British men. And, you know, even as a kid, I thought they were gay, but I didn't give a fuck. You know what? Even when I watched Sesame Street, I knew Bert and Ernie were gay. Even at that young age, you know what? I didn't give a fuck. I was born woke, bitches. Anyway, back to the Frog and Toad books. But you know, what the fuck are those names? Because I really want to know. I bet most of you have read them. Or if you haven't, and you have kids, check them out. Let's see. Frog and Toad children's. There we go. What are they called? Oh, fuck. They're just called Frog and Toad? That's some lazy shit. And anyway, check it out. I loved them as a kid. And then I got older because I loved animals, because I would be read and I would read books about animals like Frog and Toad. I got into Redwall, and that shit was amazing. And then Jurassic Park, and there's my life. That's why I like animals and dinosaurs and shit. So anyway, but still, frogs are cool. But yeah, why wouldn't I stop, you know? Even if I ran over one knowingly. I mean, I'm sure, you know, I don't want to think about this, but I'm sure I didn't catch them all. I'm sure I accidentally ran over one or two. And I know I shouldn't move them. Some of you are thinking, well, it's nature, man. You should let nature take its course, man. Well, a lawnmower is not part of fucking nature, motherfucker. No, why wouldn't I catch them all and put them someplace safe, you know? I would never do that. If I could stop a killing, I would, of a frog or most animals. Some animals, fuck them, they deserve to die. Like wild hogs, those things are taking over this fucking country. Those boars, fuck them all, kill them all. Fuck if I care. I know there's a boa infestation in Florida. Kill them all. Make boots and stuff out of them. There's plenty of snakes, whatever. And I'm sure there's billions and billions and billions of these little frogs, but I like them. I choose not to kill them because I like them. And I remember as a little kid, not a kid, maybe I was like, 8 or 9 or some shit. I was with my friend on his grandfather's boat, and I don't know why, but we were talking about mowing the lawn. And my friend was in charge of mowing his backyard. And he was telling me and his grandfather that every now and then he would see a snake and that he would stop and let the snake go by. And his grandfather started laughing and starts telling us how, when he mows the lawn, he sees all the gardener snakes and he just keeps mowing. He doesn't stop. He said, I don't try to run them over, but I'm not going to stop mowing the lawn because of some fucking snakes. Come on, you two. And I remember as a little kid, I started to really feel bad for the snakes. I said, oh man, that's shitty, And I think I even said something to the grandfather like, oh, why couldn't you try to avoid them? And he said something about me needing to be a man and shut up about animals and shit. But maybe he didn't say anything like that. Maybe I've seen too many movies. But anyway, so yeah, in my opinion, if you're mowing the lawn and you see a frog, just pick up the fucker and put him someplace else. Don't run it over. Don't be an animal to animals. Be kind and decent to them. Not all. Like I said, some fuck them. Wasps, hornets, wild boars, boas. I know there's a lot of deers with some kind of Lyme disease or some kind of parasite or some animals you just got to kill. But I choose not to. And so moving on, I need to make a correction to last week's podcast, the third one, where I was talking about this movie that I enjoyed that my girlfriend picked out, and I kept calling the movie In Time, and that's not the name of the movie. The name of the movie is About Time. So, any confusion there, I apologize, I own it, I will go fuck myself. Now, About Time was a good movie. It's honestly one of the more inventive, unique, romantic drama comedies. It got science fiction in there too, man. The only thing missing was some horror and maybe some dragons, but you can't have everything. Now the movie In Time was that piece of shit Justin Timberlake movie where you could sell off the minutes of your life or some shit, how many minutes you have and you have to control how many minutes you have or something. I don't fucking know. Let's see what it says. Let me get my movie voice on. In the future, will people stop aging at 25, but are engineered to live only one more year? Having the means to buy your way out of the situation is a shot at immortal youth. Here, Will Salas finds himself accused of murder and on the run with the hostage, a connection that becomes an important part of the way against the system. And that's probably an 8 out of 10 on the movie voice, if I do say so myself. But yeah, I saw this movie. It was a pile of shit. Good idea, but About Time? Yes. End Time? No. But you want to go see either movie? I don't give a fuck. Who cares? Oh, I have another long hair from my girlfriend story. If you recall, a podcast or two ago, I was telling a story about how I was washing myself in the butt and I pulled out a piece of my girlfriend's hair somehow was in my butthole or around it somehow. It makes no sense. It's like a Twilight Zone episode. Anyway, once again, she's been gone for maybe 2 days and I've showered at least once in those 2 days. So this hair that just happened was just somehow burrowing under somewhere, which is gross to think about, even for me. But I was sitting down peeing and I looked down and I thought that is the longest pubic hair I've ever seen. Now, I trim, but I don't want to go into that, so I knew it wasn't mine. And then it was so long, I, like, pulled on it, and, like, it lifted up my penis, you know, not to be graphic here, but it did. And I thought, this hair is stronger than titanium, you know? And again, it was another one of her hairs. Somehow it was wrapped itself around my pecker. Pecker. Some words are just funny no matter how you say them. Pecker. And so I just started laughing in the bathroom like, this is nuts. Once in the butt, now on my wiener. What are the odds? What are the odds? Now, some of you may be thinking, did you say you were peeing sitting down? Yes, I'm an advocate for sit down peeing. Only at your own house. If you're in a public restroom or at a ballpark or someplace that's like where a lot of people are using the bathroom, no, every man for himself. Do whatever you got to do. But if you're home, sit down and pee. Take a book in there. You have your cell phone. You can look at some memes, look at the news, play Pokemon Go with your boy Angelo. There's a lot of things you can do. Go on social media, start shit with boomers across the country. It's fun. Plus, it's more hygienic. Men, we all know. I don't care how old you are. If you're peeing standing up, you're going to hit something, no matter what you do. When you sit down, no mess, do whatever you got to do. So, yeah, I'm a big supporter in that. Now, some people say, oh my God, there's nothing, oh, that's how a pansy peas. You need to sit and hold your cock and pee standing up. There's nothing. I'm like, okay, calm down. If you're that insecure, chill out. It's no big deal. I think you just like touching your penis. Yeah, but again, to each their own. But it's much more clean. It's much more hygienic. Try it. If you don't like it, don't do it. I did it once. I liked it. Now I do it all the time. I don't remember the last time I peed standing up in my house. But I don't judge those who stand up, and I don't judge those who sit down. But if I had to judge them, I would say the people who sit down are more comfortable in their own self-image. On those that stand up, feel like they have to prove something, sometimes to themselves. Speaking of toilets, another thing, I always put the toilet seat down. Not the second seat, I mean the whole thing. Because for whatever reason, that's how I was raised. Or that's how my, mother and sister put their toilet seats down when I lived with them. My father always kept the toilet seat up. But my parents were divorced, so there were two different bathroom rules. But I lived with my mom, therefore, I tended to put the toilet seat down. Now, I don't know, I just have it. And do you know what happens when my girlfriend's over here? She leaves the whole fucking thing up. Not the second one, everything. And I was raised to think girls don't do that. Girls like it at least when the second seat's down because it's, whatever. I don't know why the ladies like it. I have my suspicions. I think you don't want to fall in the toilet's water, which I don't blame you. That toilet water is nasty. But this chick just leaves that shit wide open. And LaFauna gets in there, that dirty bitch, and she just starts drinking toilet water, and which we've already established is nasty ass water. So I have no point I'm trying to make. I just find it odd that it seems like we're the opposites of where the sexes need to be. But, whatever. Maybe we're just a very progressive couple. Fuck it. You know what? Let's continue down this path. I got a lot of bathroom stuff on my mind, apparently. Get yourself a bidet. Bidets are fun. Bidets are cool. It keeps you clean, and it's better for the environment. And you should never have to unplug a toilet if you have a bidet. I mean, unless you're still a fucking savage who, even after using a bidet, still uses a hunk of toilet paper, or you're shitting asteroids and fucking bowling balls and shit. So who the fuck knows? Fucking shitting a bowling ball. Stupid. What was my point? Oh, bidets. Try them. Try it first. People, try it. Now, I was skeptical. I went to Japan. I was kind of excited to try it, but I was wary. The hotel I was staying at, ironically, the bidet was broken in there. And when I went to go use the bathroom in the lobby, there were so many buttons. I felt like I was on a spaceship, and I felt like if I hit the wrong button, it'd shoot my ass out of the bathroom and across the fucking hallway. So I was too scared. I didn't press any buttons. I didn't want to get electrocuted. And so the first time I used a bidet, I think I was at a coworker's house, and he lived in Japan for a while, but he had one at his house, and I said, "Oh shit, now's the time." And it was amazing. But he had not a top of the line, but he had a pretty good one. I later found out. So I bought the one off Tushy.com, which, you know, I think they advertise a lot. I heard them on a lot of podcasts I listen to. And I bought their generic one that just shoots cold water because I don't have the ability to do the hot and cold one. It just doesn't work in my bathroom. So, yeah, in the morning when that cold water hits your butt, ooh, it wakes you up. It wakes you up, especially if you leave it on there for about 30 to 45 seconds. Fuck it, you'll fucking run down the LAPD, take over. You're not giving a fuck. It feels so good. You're ready to take on Jesus himself. Anyway, it's amazing. And it's clean too. And everybody thinks, oh, when you know, isn't it like power washing a house? If the side of your house is muddy and covered in shit and you spray it, it goes everywhere. No, you're not. You know, the water doesn't come at you that much, that hard, that fast, that violent. I mean, you can. There's some settings that, you know, I would never use it because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to waterboard myself. But no, it's just a little trickle is all you need sometimes, and you're still checking. You still use maybe 2 or 3 pieces of TP, you know, a little dabble, and then you check. And 9.9 times out of 10, there ain't nothing there because the water done did its job. And then you just pull up your pants and go out with your day. No more chapped assholes. No more running the risk of cheap toilet paper and your thumb going up your ass or your pinky. Or I don't know how you fucking wipe. And there's just no reason not to. It's clean. I think we just need to get over the idea of water touching your asshole. It's not going in there. Maybe it does. Sometimes it does, but, you know, who cares? It's clean. Get over yourself. You're an adult. Experiment. Fuck it. You only live once, unless you believe in reincarnation, which is a pretty cool idea, and I could really get behind it. But I really wish I could see what my past lives were. If I could control them, like maybe I could jump back in time between. But anyway, that's another podcast. That's a cool idea, though. Fuck it, I could talk. No, I don't want to talk about it because it's just nonsense. We're talking nonsense here, people. How the fuck did I go from bidets to reincarnation? And didn't we start this conversation with another long hair story? Oh, isn't the human brain just so complex and mysterious? It just boggles my mind. How the fuck did we get here? All right. What else we got brewing here? Oh, I hope you all have seen that new Dave Chappelle stand-up on it's not on Netflix. I saw it on YouTube. It's called 8 minutes, 46 seconds. It's amazing. It's about a half hour long, I think. I've seen it twice. Damn, it's good. And then I was so moved by that I later watched his Mark Twain acceptance speech thing that's on Netflix. That's about an hour and a half. It basically follows him the couple days surrounding him winning the Mark Twain Comedy Award, which is America's largest, highest honor it can bestow on a comedian, which is cool. Richard Pryor was the first one. They made a big deal about that for obvious reasons. They're both funny. And yeah, check it out. I cannot recommend it more. What else? I mean, we should obviously talk about 90 Day Fiancé because they had a 2-hour, what I thought was finale, but motherfuckers coming back with another episode last night. Haven't seen it yet because I'm waiting for my GF and I to watch it. But the 2 recap episodes, holy fuck. Hold on, my lips are a little peckish here. I was a little peckish there. I need a drink of water. Anyway, 90 Day Fiancé. It was just what I predicted a couple weeks ago. None of the relationships worked. None of them should have worked. And most of these people should be wiped off the planet. No, that's a little too excessive. They just need to be sterilized. That's all. The one couple wasn't on there. Jeffrey and his Russian girlfriend, what was her name? Varia. Because that motherfucker in jail, and I'm not sure what her deal is. Maybe they didn't want to talk to her. She didn't want to on her own. The bisexual couple, they were fighting the whole time. And I felt really bad for Erica, the one in Australia. She literally did nothing wrong the entire time. Fuck that other girl she was with. I forget her name. Oh, I'm sick in my health. Bitch, get over it. You know, I got glasses. I know what you mean. Calm down. I've worn eyeglasses my whole life. Now that is a disease. That is a disability. No one gives a fuck about people that wear glasses. We can't work out the same. We that's about it. Everything else is pretty much the same. But anything that has, anything that's energetic or like a lot of sports, we're fucked. Anyway, moving on. That motherfucker, big neck Ed or no neck Ed. You know who I'm talking about. The Danny DeVito looking motherfucker. He's still a piece of shit, handing out advice no one needed here. He said he was ready to cut off relations with his daughter in order to reconnect with what's her face. Fuck is her name? From the Philippines. You know who I'm talking about. Anyway, and she hooked up with a girl in the meantime, and then she said they broke up again. So, I mean, I'm rooting for her. I follow her on Instagram. I said, fuck it, I like her. She's rad. Let's see, who were the other? Oh yeah, the chick from Seattle and the douche from Australia. That one was just doomed. I mean, the guy was lying to her and stuff. Big whoop. They were a boring couple anyway. Fuck them. I tell you, who really kind of is hilarious is, you know, I hate those the twins they follow every season. The two high society fake bitches from Connecticut with their nasty ass lips and their burnt off looking hair and their lizard skin, and they're like 5'4" and their heels push them up to like 6 foot. I mean, they look like reptile women. Anyway, there was a British guy that was banging one of them, but then they weren't, but then they were, but then they weren't, but then they weren't. It's that kind of horse shit. Who gives a fuck, right? Anyway, later on, after they broke up for the final time in the show, he hit on every other woman on the show. All of them. And like asked to take him out, wanted to go out with him. I think I just repeated myself, but that's what happens sometimes. But, I mean, he's kind of a dirtbag sleazeball, but, you know, at least he's trying. I respect the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Baby Love and the Nigerian guy, what's his name? Oh, jeez. They were the one that everyone thought would work. But turns out they're not even living together. He's still in Nigeria. She still is somewhere in the States, and he's planning on taking more wives. If she doesn't give birth to babies, but she's in her 50s, so who the fuck knows? I mean, it's just wild. It's just wild. I mean, and she seems to be okay with polygamy under certain circumstances, which is crazy because that doesn't fit her personality at all, because she's been the jealous, crazy-ass type. Oh, that poor black woman from Las Vegas. She said that well, first off, the bitch got into a coma from COVID. She caught it, and then she lost, she was in a coma for a week or so. And then she later found out that was probably because she had coronavirus, and she went in a coma because of it. Fucking wild. And then, I think going in a coma must have re-scrambled her brains, because she came out thinking, oh, Williams is probably fake. Wah, wah, wah. So she still believes in the relationship they had, but I think she realized now that she's being scammed. Duh. Does the Pope wear a funny hat, bitch? Yeah. The other one that everybody thought was getting catfished, the other douche in Las Vegas, and his quote-unquote girlfriend from the Ukraine. What's her name? It doesn't matter. She obviously wasn't on the recap, and he didn't think they were together anymore, even though he spent over $10,000 something on her, and she stood him up like 4 or 5 times. He proposed to her. She said yes in a weirdly awkward way that even a blind man could see was bullshit. But anyway, he was handing out advice to everybody, and everyone would say, hey man, look who's giving you advice. Calm down. You were getting scammed, obviously. He would get so mad. And then it turns out that this is just his thing. It's his kink, baby. It's what he likes to do. He's gone to the Ukraine like 40 times in the last 15 years or so. He's always going over there trying to bang them women. And every now and then he kind of connects with one, and then he wastes a bunch of money on them. Oh, my brain's moving too fast for my mouth. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it's his kink. So I felt less mad at him. I was like, okay. It's your life. That's what you want to do. You want to travel to the Ukraine 3 or 4 times a year to try to get that Eastern Bloc poontang. Okay. And you know what they're getting out of it? Yeah, they have to sit there and take some fat man crying on top of them for 3 to 4 minutes. But, he gives them money. That's it. And there's nothing else. I mean, I don't want to say prostitution because I'm not against that. If President Angela was a thing, I would legalize prostitution. I could give a fuck. Who cares? Tax it. Make it safer. Get some revenue from it. They did that shit in Australia. Divorce rates plummeted, baby. And what else? Domestic abuse went down. HIV went down. STDs went down. I mean, across the board, baby. Yeah, you're legalizing prostitution, which I could see some people not liking. But, you know, those people are going to die off in a couple of decades. They're old. Not many people our age think it's weird, right? But if you do, you know, get with the times, baby. Anyway, 90 Day Fiancé. I don't know how they're going to do one more episode. Pretty excited. I hope they bring back the douche that's in prison right now and Varia. Ooh, Varia, I lost all respect for that bitch. Kicking Mary out. Ugh, it was awkward. Is that her name? Mary? Jeffrey's other chick? Man, they're all pieces of shit. The only people of any redeeming quality in that whole entire clusterfuck of people that somehow live and breathe amongst us and we also call humans is Erica from Australia and kind of Ash. I think Ash is the douche from Australia. The girl from Seattle is like 60-40 normal. Erica from Australia. I thought there was another one. Oh, the girl from the Philippines. What is her name? Is it not Maria? Motherfucker. I need to be prepared. Okay. Big Ed's. Oh, you piece of shit computer. Big Ed 90 Day Fiancé. Let's see. What's her name? Big Ed's Artisan Bread. Fuck you, Google. Oh, yeah, I guess I did click on it. My bad, Google. I did you wrong. Not 90th, 90 Day Fiancé. Dude, for something that should know me by now and has scanned my face multiple times and should know what I like to look at. Come on, man. Rose, that's her name. Rose. Thanks for nothing, Google. Even though you did tell me the answer, it took me about 12 seconds to find it. So fuck you. That took too long. Anyway, I like Rose. She's cool. So yeah, Erica's the best. I would say Rose is the second. And what's her name from Seattle is the third. Everybody else is a pile of garbage. And it's almost garbage day. But I think with that, we can wrap it up. I'm trying to think if there's anything I want to say in closing. Oh yeah, before I end this thing, I just found out that they are charging the cop who killed the black man in Atlanta. I forget his name. Reese something? Let me go see. He deserves the respect of me knowing his fucking name if I'm going to talk about him. Death of black man in what city? Atlanta. Rayshard Brooks. Okay. Rayshard Brooks. He was shot in the back by a police officer and died. Now, this one, in my opinion, is not as... I don't want to say crystal clear, because it is pretty crystal clear. He should have been charged with murder. He should have. Here's the thing. It's not as cut and dry, I guess. I don't know. It's hard. It's a weird word that I'm trying to say. It's hard to think of it. But anyway, with George Floyd, it was so obvious. It was so obvious. It was disgusting. Now with Rayshard, he resisted arrest. He was drunk in a parking lot. For those of you that don't know by now, which is insane if you don't, he was drunk and asleep in his car in a Wendy's drive-thru. Someone called the police. They showed up, knocked on his door. He got out. Everything's peaceful. They frisked him. He had no weapons. He failed a sobriety test. And so they were going to arrest him. Now, they already know he's unarmed. They already know he has no weapons. Now, while he was getting handcuffed, he pushed him. He punched a cop a couple times. I'm not going to lie. He got a few good licks in there. Took one of their tasers and then took off running away from the cops. Now, he did turn looking like he was going to tase one of the police, and that's when they shot him, I believe. And so, yeah, he did point a taser at him, and yeah, he did resist arrest, and yeah, he did punch the cops. But you don't shoot the man. You don't kill him. You already had his name. You already have his address. You have his car. You have all the data you need. You don't need to shoot them and kill them. It's just so awful. But again, they got him for murder. I think it was felony murder. So this one's going to be interesting. So with that, I think we'll end it here. I had a couple of people that wanted me to talk about Chad or Chaz or whatever that fucking thing in Capitol Hill is, but I don't have the energy tonight. Maybe another one. Anyway, peace, love, everybody. Yeah.